You opened an app today and asked a machine to think for you. Maybe it was a simple question. Maybe you needed a word, a fact, a direction. It felt effortless. It felt fast. And somewhere in that moment of instant clarity, your brain quietly handed something over. And you never noticed. This is not a story about technology being bad. It is a story about what happens inside your skull every time you reach for AI before reaching for yourself. And the science behind it is far more unsettling than anyone in Silicon Valley wants you to know. Your brain is not a static organ. It is one of the most adaptive biological structures ever produced by evolution. A network of roughly 86 billion neurons that rewires itself based on what you repeatedly do and think. Neuroscientists call this neuroplasticity. Every time you struggled to remember something, your hippocampus got stronger. Every time you sat with a hard problem and refused to give up, your prefrontal cortex deepened its capacity for sustained thought. That is how the brain was built to work. Through friction, through effort, through the productive discomfort of not knowing. Now consider what happens when that friction disappears. In 2011, psychologist Betsy Sparrow at Columbia University published a landmark study called The Google Effect. When people knew information would be available later through an external source, they were far less likely to encode it into their own memory. The brain was already outsourcing recall before the age of AI had even begun. Now imagine what is happening when the external source does not just store information. It generates thought, constructs arguments, and hands you the finished answer before you have had a second to wrestle with the question yourself. The process your brain skips in that moment is called effortful retrieval. According to cognitive psychologist Bjork at UCLA, this is one of the primary mechanisms through which long-term memory is formed and strengthened. When you struggle to pull something from memory, you rebuild the neural pathway that holds it. You are, in the most literal neurological sense, becoming smarter. When AI retrieves it for you, that process is bypassed entirely. Think about the last week. How many times did you start to work through a problem and stop? Not because you solved it, but because you decided to ask AI instead. Each moment felt like efficiency. Each one may have been, in neurological terms, a missed workout. Neuroscientist Michael Merzenich has spent decades documenting how cognitive engagement shapes brain structure. His work points to a consistent finding: the brain optimizes for what it is repeatedly asked to do, and it quietly downregulates what it is not. Researcher Manu Kapur showed that students who struggled with a problem before receiving the solution retained knowledge significantly better than students given the answer first. The struggle was not a setback. The struggle was the mechanism of learning. AI, by design, eliminates that struggle. That is its entire value proposition. You are not just using AI, you are being shaped by it. Every interaction with a system that always delivers a polished answer is recalibrating your tolerance for cognitive discomfort. It is making the normal, healthy friction of unaided thought feel broken, feel like something that needs to be fixed. This is not irreversible. The same neuroplasticity that makes your brain vulnerable also makes it capable of recovery. Deliberate effort, even in small doses, preserves the neural pathways that deep thinking depends on. Writing by hand, recalling before checking, sitting with a problem for 10 minutes before reaching for a tool. In the language of neuroscience, those are not just habits, they are interventions. The question is not whether AI is useful, it is spectacularly useful. The question is whether you are using it as a tool that extends your thinking, or as a replacement for thinking itself. You opened an app today and asked a machine to think for you. Whether that becomes who you are, or a habit you choose to examine, is the one question no AI can answer for you.